Hi guys, welcome back to one of the last videos of the year. Today we're going to be looking at my favorite mainstream polishes that were released this year. It was so hard to narrow it down. There were over 720 polishes that are reviewed for you on my channel in mainstream and indie this year. It was way too hard to narrow it down to one video, so this video is going to be just mainstream, and then indie is going to have its whole separate video. Last year you guys asked me to do that, and this year I decided to go ahead and do it because there were just way too many. I couldn't really narrow it down, and as you will see in this video, there are still a lot that I want to talk about. So many so that we're not going to do live application today. I'm just going to show you the swatch photo and the polish in the bottle and tell you what collection it's from and why I love it and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. This video was so much fun to prepare for. I sat down for 3 hours the other night and really just looked over everything, looked at all of my videos. I didn't obviously have time to watch them all in 3 hours, but I was really just thinking over the whole last year. And there was so much good stuff, so obviously not everything is going to be in here. Lots of great polishes are going to be left out. These are just my top picks. If I didn't grab your favorite in here, make sure you leave that for everybody to read. You will see lots of things missing on the walls behind me because I have pulled them for this video. So let's go ahead and get started, you guys. I'm so excited to talk to you about my favorites. As I look at them in front of me, they're definitely in certain color ranges. Yeah, I definitely have a type that I really enjoy. So even though these may not be your favorites, I hope you enjoy seeing what my choices were out of the over 720 polishes that I reviewed. These are the ones that I'm like really zeroing in on as being my favorites of the whole year. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start from like the beginning of the year and go down through till the end. So we're going to start out with some of the first ones that are reviewed. Maybe you forgot about them. Let me tell you why I love them. So we're going to start out with Orly. Orly did a really great job again this year. Orly is always a little bit hit or miss for me, but what that means is that sometimes I don't love it, but then other times I really love it. They don't just like kind of drive straight through the middle like OPI does. I feel like they try lots of different things, and that's what makes me really like some things. So for starters, in their spring collection, we have two polishes that I really enjoyed. So Orly's spring collection was called the Melrose collection, and let's start out with this awesomely bright neon mint that they put in their spring collection, which I just thought was so fantastic that they put a really bright neon. Orly is one of the last mainstream brands I feel like that is actually still doing super duper bright neons, and they came out with a whole summer collection of great neons, but this one made it into their spring collection. This is called Vintage. If you don't have this polish, I highly recommend it. It has a great formula, but it's just so stinking bright, and you really don't see neons in this shade very often. So this started out the year really great for me. They've actually already released their spring collection for 2017, which isn't that surprising. Orly likes to, you know, kind of get things going pretty quickly. So actually we'll be looking at that very soon. It's on its way to my house as I'm filming now, so we'll be looking at that very soon. But so this started the year out with a bang. And then the other polish in that collection is called Beautifully Bizarre, and I really feel like 2016 was a revisitation of Shimmer, of like this kind of shimmer from within. You guys heard me talk about that a lot this year, and what that is it's like shimmer that you can't see the individual particles of, but that you still, it's obviously there. So it's a lot of times what I think really made polishes cool this year was a cream polish with contrasting shimmer. So this polish really started the year out for us, I think, and Beautifully Bizarre is a very light pink, but it has strong like green shimmer, like this kind of green, like a blue-green mint in a pink polish, which is just so strange. And then what happened was, like every other brand did the same thing this year. They didn't all like copy each other exactly, but I feel like this is one of the first ones that I saw this year that just really made me wake up and be like, whoa, okay. And I was so glad that the year continued on in that path, and we had a lot of awesome creams with shimmer, which you know are going to make an appearance here today. So I'm actually going to move out of spring because actually for mainstream, not a lot else in the spring really grabbed my attention actually. So that means that all of the other mainstream brands that produced spring collections, they're not going to be in here. They just really didn't excite me very much. So actually Color Club released their spring collection. I didn't really love it. They released their summer collection and I liked it a lot more. It was a lot of really great bright creams. I'm just going to feature one out of there for you today. And the one that I picked out as just being really awesome and rather outstanding was this really cool purple called We Got the Beat, and it has strong copper, and I think I see some like iridescence in there. Micro glitters in there. This is really, really beautiful. I liked a lot of the polishes in that collection. The collection was called Light Brights, so that was also fun for me because it made me feel reminiscent of my childhood. But I just thought, you know, there are some in there that I'm not mentioning that I really loved as well, but I had to keep it down. I had to keep the number down. So this is the one that's going to represent that collection for me. And I think it's rather great. If you love purple and you don't have this, I really recommend. And even if you don't, I think it's still pretty spectacular. So for all my Sinful Colors lovers out there, they did a lot of polish this year. Do you guys remember in 2015, I feel like it was, they barely put out anything. I think they put out a few glitter toppers that was always mixed in with a whole bunch of re-promotes in all of their displays, and there really actually weren't that many displays to speak of anyway. But in 2016, it was totally different. They did a ton of polish, starting out with the 500 million collaborations with Kylie Jenner in the spring. So I'm going to show you one polish from there. I could have picked out a whole bunch because I think that actually a lot of those polishes were pretty great considering the price point. I feel like they were keeping up with certainly OPI, even though OPI was kind of boring this year. Keeping up with a lot of the higher end mainstream brands with a lot of originality, with some really fun concepts in their polish. So Sinful Colors did a lot of gold shimmer in their polishes this year, and you guys know I love that so much. And so this is one polish I'm going to use to represent all of the Sinful Colors gold shimmer polishes this year. So this is king size, and this came from the Trend Matters collection that she did. So she had the Sinful Colors and Kylie Jenner had what, 3 or 4 different collaborations. You can see all of them on my channel if you didn't see them. But anyway, this is a demi-matte formula, but it's this really gorgeous color of purple with a beautiful gold shimmer. And so I just picked this one because it was my favorite color with that gold shimmer, but a lot of them had this, and I thought they did a good job with formula. It was a fun year. So I thought Sinful Colors had a great 2016. I just wanted to throw at least one Sinful Colors in here because I think that they did a great job this year. So this was one of my favorites. So I'm going to share with you guys the one OPI polish that made it in this year. A lot of the things that OPI did, like I said, they were just okay. They did a lot of really nice creams this year, but they were in colors that we've seen a lot from, and a few things that they did that were a little bit different. Other brands actually duped them exactly, or I felt like they were duping other things I'd already seen. For example, Oh My Majesty from the Alice in Wonderland collection. You can see that exact same formula elsewhere. So I'm going to show you one polish from that Alice in the Wonderland collection that I felt like I really, really enjoyed, and I liked a lot of the other stuff. Don't get me wrong, I don't think I hated anything that OPI did this year. I felt like they did a good job, but it was just a good job, you know what I mean? It was like a very safe, okay job. And that's kind of what their brand is about anyway, so you can't really fault them for that because they want to give you great classics that you can wear, you know, anywhere, and they don't really try to switch it up, right? So anyway, this polish I'm showing you today is I'm Gown for Anything, and even more than the Alice blues in that collection, I just really fell in love with this shade. It's a very, very light, cloudy white purple, and for me it was just everything. I really loved it more than anything else in that collection because it was just, I don't know, there was just something about this color, you guys. I mean, I love purples. Maybe you didn't really care for this one, but this was just a perfect, very light neutral for me for this year. It just kind of switched it up. Like I could wear this very light purple as a neutral. So this is the only OPI you're going to see in this video. I'm sorry if you're a major OPI fan. I give OPI lots of love in all the OPI videos you saw on my channel this year, so you can go check those out. But yeah, this is the only one. So let's move on. So time for another Orly polish, and this is from their summer collection, and this was called PCH, and that collection is so full of beautiful neons. So if you didn't grab that and you love neons, I feel like that was probably the best neon collection, not speaking indie, that came out this year. So everything in it is fantastic. I picked the purple one to show you. The purple one is called Scenic Route, But like I said, all of them are great. So if you're not really into purples, look at that collection. I'm putting up cards here as we're going along. You probably would have noticed where you can like click on that and go to the video I'm talking about. But go check out that collection. I mean, it's gorgeous. This is just my perfect neon. I actually have another color coming for you that's very similar to this from a different brand. So anyway, I just absolutely adored this. So definitely check out that collection. And Essie polish from their spring line. Essie, by the way, I really enjoyed what they did this year as well. For the most part, I really enjoyed everything. I thought that they had some nice shimmers, some really great creams, and anyway, this is one of the favorites for me. I only picked 3 this year, and this is the first one that you're gonna see from me, and this is like totally separated, but it doesn't matter. This is called Off Tropic. It's from their spring collection. It's a nice, deep, almost forest green. It's like a between jade and forest, which is just so random for in a spring collection. But I love Essie, you guys. You know, you've heard me talk about it all year. I love how they comprise their collections. The color combos are just so interesting, and I feel like kind of bold for putting different things together. So I thought this was great. It had a great formula. All the things I'm showing you guys today have a great formula, so it doesn't really need to be said. But yeah, this was one of my favorites out of the year. I just really love this rich, sink your teeth in green. So we're gonna move on from that Essie to another one, and this is from the summer collection, and I really adored that collection. I felt like the whole thing was rather wonderful. It had some really great shimmers, and this is one shimmer. This is called Viva Antigua, and so as you can see, it's a beautiful turquoise shade, but it has very strong shimmer in there, and it's kind of tonally similar, so it doesn't, you know, it's not contrasting shimmer like I showed you in the Sinful Colors polish, but this is really beautiful. So I wanted to showcase this, but really a lot of the polishes in that collection were pretty terrific, so make sure you click on that card if you're interested in checking them out. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Alright guys, so we're already on to fall. There wasn't very many summer polishes that really stood out to me, but I do have quite a handful here from fall and winter. So let's get into it. Speaking of which, we have a Color Club polish. The first Color Club to make it in today. Let's see, I have 3 of them for you. And this doesn't look very fall, does it? But it was in their English Garden collection, which I'm not sure if it was technically fall because they released like 4 more collections after that or including this one. It feels like maybe there were 3. Anyway, they released a lot of collections all at the same time, but this polish, if you like this color, get this polish because it is so bright and beautiful in person, and the formula is great. So this is called Primrose. I loved, I think, all of that collection. It had some beautiful metallic kind of chromy polishes and then some beautiful creams. I feel like I always love their fall collection. They always do a great job with fall. So yes, this is a spectacular formula. This is the one that I was saying was close to Orly's Scenic route with being a super awesome bright neon in a pastel shade. It's just so pretty. So yes, I definitely recommend this. So I have 3 more polishes from Glaze, and one is going to come from their fall collection. I did enjoy the fall collection, but not a lot of it was really just calling my name. But this polish I thought was cool. So this is Glaze Pearl Jammin, and it's this very light sky blue with a strong kind of goldy peach shimmer. At some angles it even looks pink, but I would say it's probably more like a golden peach. This polish is just so pretty. Like I spoke of before, I really thought the contrasting shimmer in a lot of polishes this year was what was, I felt like polish was really about in 2016. So I wanted to show you this in case you hadn't picked it up or you'd forgotten about it. This one is pretty cool. There are a lot of polishes kind of like this, but no exact dupes for this one. So anyway, Pearl Jammin was my favorite out of the fall Glaze for sure. So I have 3 Zoyas to share with you for this year, 2016, and they're all coming from this last part of the year. So from the Zoya Urban Grunge collection, which is their fall collection, they had 1 coat creams, and then they had these metallics and scattered hollow polishes. So I really enjoyed the scattered hollow polishes. Whether you like the green or this beautiful royal purple, you know, take your pick. They had the same kind of formula. The green was called Merida, and this one is called Finley. They're just both so beautiful. I just picked this one because, well, I kind of like purple, guys. So anyway, absolutely beautiful. I think Zoya did a great job this year. A few of their collections I felt like were more hits for me than others. Like, for example, the Sunsets and Seashells collection. I really liked all of it, but for me, I just didn't feel like there was one out of that collection that was just really taking the cake, kind of. So that's why I kind of skipped over that collection, but don't worry guys, I still loved it. It just, there wasn't anything in there for me that I really felt like I had to show you guys today. So anyway, Merida or Finley, I definitely recommend. The next Essie I want to share with you comes from their fall collection, and the fall collection was kind of Japanese inspired, and it had a lot of beautiful, nice subdued shades that I was really feeling, but this one is the one that stood out to me that I want to share with you because I do often get asked for a great burnt orange shade, and I think they did a great job this year. So this one's called Playing Koi, has beautiful 2-coat formula. So even though for me, like this isn't, some of those other shades in there I liked maybe a little bit more, like that very light dusty purple and the light dusty, what was it, a blue gray? This one I feel like is probably one of the more standouts just for something kind of different. So I wanted to share that one with you. So Color Club put 2 collections out at the end of this year, and the first one that I reviewed for you out of the last 2, that sounds kind of confusing, but anyway, I reviewed the Midnight Muse collection first, and then I reviewed the other one after that, and I really much preferred the Midnight Muse collection. And there were 2 polishes out of that collection that I just thought were rather fantastic, so I want to talk about both of them. So the first up is Martian, and it is just a really cool color of green that I felt like I really needed to share with you. It's a blue-green, but it's like a blue-green seaweed shade with an absolutely spectacular cream formula. So, I mean, Color Club just always surprises me. Like, they'll give me, like their last collection, for example, in 2016, I just really didn't care for it, but the collection right before it was all full of really, well, not all of them are my favorite, but these 2 were for sure really great. So Martian, it's just so beautiful. I definitely recommend you picking it up if you haven't ever tried Color Club before, and I don't know what you're waiting for. There are a lot of great ones from Color Club, so I'll have to do a video for you on my favorites from Color Club. But anyway, definitely Martian. And then the other one that I loved, another great cream with contrasting shimmer. So this one's shimmer is just out of this world. This is called Meteor-right with a hyphen in between, and this is like a really cool kind of cornflower blue-gray with strong golden copper shimmer, which shows up great on the bottle and pretty fantastically on the nail, which I love. It had a great 2-coat formula, so this one is so cool. Definitely one of my favorite out of the whole year of these kind of cream with the contrasting shimmer polishes. One of my favorites out of the whole year. So I really enjoyed this. I definitely recommend. The last Orly I want to share with you today comes from their holiday collection, and this one's called Celebrity Spotting. A lot of the polishes in that collection, there are 6 in all of OPI's collections, by the way, were just okay for me. There was nothing bad. And actually you may have noticed that I didn't even mention any in their fall collection. They were good, they were fine, they just didn't really quite make this list. But this one I loved because it's purple. So if you don't love purple, you may not care for this as much, but it's purple with a strong kind of golden pink shimmer in there. So it's the kind where you can actually see the particles this time rather than how I just showed you in Meteor-right. So I did really love this because I know I'm a sucker for gold and purple together, so I really enjoyed this one a lot. My last 2 Zoyas I have to share with you today came from their holiday collection, and the first one I want to talk about is Olivera, and this is a beautiful multi-chrome. I was going to say duochrome, but I believe that you can see actually more things than just purple and green. But those are the colors I see primarily when I look at it. But the shifting is just so beautiful. This bottle is so cool. On the nail though, you really can see it. It's kind of hard to catch duochromes on camera. You have to get them at certain angles in indirect lighting, and like when the light is, when you kind of shift the nail, it's easier to see when you're moving your hand. Anyway, I definitely recommend. This is one of my favorites from their holiday collection, although I think I really did like that whole collection this year. It was a mix of textured polishes and some duochrome things. So anyway, definitely recommend this one. And then the other one I liked, which I've been wearing on my nails in this video, is one of their textured polishes. Now, I was saying I didn't share with you any of the polishes in their Sunsets and Seashells collection, which was half full of textured polishes, and a lot of you guys might be over textured polishes, but I still really enjoy them, even though they are a little bit harder to remove. This is Alice from their holiday collection, and I really did like it. There was a beautiful one called Saint in there too. That was another duochrome, but I wanted to share with you one of the textures. So this is just a really beautiful light, almost periwinkle purple, and it has some pretty strong pink shimmer in there. So I thought it was really great, so I wanted to share with you, obviously, because this videos about the stuff that I like. So anyway, another favorite for me. The last Essie polish I'm going to share with you is from their holiday 2016 or their winter collection, and I actually really enjoyed that collection. It had a lot of great shimmers. I wanted to show you my favorite. This one's called Ready to Boa or Ready to BOA. Ready to Boa. I think it's like Ready to Go, but it's Ready to Boa. Anyway, this one is a beautiful kind of rusty burgundy, and it has a lot of gold and copper shimmer in there. I really thought this color was just great. I fell in love with it as soon as I put it on. So in a pretty great collection, this was the one that really stood out to me. So another favorite. And last up, we're going to talk about two China Glaze polishes. So I feel like China Glaze finished out their year pretty strongly because their holiday collection was called Seas and Greetings, so it wasn't full of a lot of reds and typical things we see for holiday, which I feel like most mainstream brands did pretty well. They didn't do like a lot of really typical kind of reds and golds for holiday, which I enjoyed. But China Glaze, I feel like, almost did it the best because they did a lot more polishes with this contrasting shimmer, but it was just a really refreshing collection. I know that the comments in that video were kind of polarized. Some people were like, nah, but a lot of people were really enjoying it, as I was, so I was happy to hear that. Anyway, so here are two of the polishes, but I liked a lot of them. I feel like in the latter part of the year, China Glaze did a lot of topper polishes, which look really kind of not so good on their own, but over another polish look pretty fantastic. So keep that in mind when you're looking at those. I was looking at other blog posts online and seeing that people were just wearing them by themselves, and I don't feel like they're meant to be worn that way, those glitters. So just keep that in mind because they look really spectacular over other polishes. I picked two that could stand alone though to share with you out of the collection. So the first one is Joy to the Waves, and this is a blue. I didn't have a ton of blues to share with you today, actually. Is this the only one? A lot of the other blues were like green toned. Oh, there was Pearl Jammin too. Anyway, this has a greenish gold contrasting shimmer. It's really pretty at two coats. I really enjoyed it a lot. So like I said, a lot of those polishes I liked, but that one stood out for me. And then the other one was this purple one with strong fuchsia shimmer, and this one's called Seas and Greetings, and it's the namesake of the collection, and it's really, really great. I almost put a few other things in here, a few of those glitter toppers, and they have a really pretty blue cream in there, but I wanted to just stick with these two. I had already mentioned enough for you guys. So that is the end of my favorite mainstream polishes of the whole year. I had so much fun reviewing collections for you guys this year. There was so much good stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's an expensive channel to have. My YouTube channel is really expensive, and it definitely does not pay for itself. But I'm so glad to have the channel. It's been, like I said, it's been so much fun for me, and I still love polish just as much now as I did when I started this channel, maybe even more having started my own brand now. I just really have spent the last year getting to know what makes up a polish and why different brands make their choices and stuff as I'm looking into making my own formulas. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that I am still as in love with my channel as I ever was, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. I hope you guys are here to join me for 2017, and we'll just wait and see what these brands put out. I'm so excited. I just want to say a big thank you to all of you for being with me this year. I know there's been kind of a funky thing with subscriptions at the end of this year where people aren't getting their notifications or they're getting unsubscribed, but thank you to all of you who are still here with me and just creating a nice, happy place on my channel and my little space in the internet, because we like to keep it real here, but we like to keep it positive and happy and supportive of one another in the comments sections. So this is my time to say thank you to you guys for being with me all year, and I hope you're with me next year too. I've made so many great friends in you guys. You know, 720 polishes plus was a lot of polishes to review this year, but that's not even counting Swatch Fest. So yeah, we did look at a lot of polish this year. I hope you had as much fun as I did. It was a blast. Like I said, I am doing this same video for indie polishes, so look for that if you're into indie polishes, or if you're looking to be into indie polishes in 2017. Why don't we go ahead and end the year with a super long video for me? You guys know I like to make long videos. Thanks you guys for spending some of your day with me. Thanks for hanging out with me in this video and in the whole year. It has meant so much to me. I love you guys all, and I will see you back for the next one. Take care until then. Bye!